It's Bigfoot. Bigfoot Collectors Club presents Red Hot Alien Summer 2 Summer Abduction. Completely absorbed by the string.
Whoa.
Woo!
What?
Hey guys.
Riley, I'm bawling my brains out.
That was beautiful. Mwah.
Wow. Guys, go home, turn off your computer because the rest of the show is going to be garbage compared to that. You got your money up front. Hey, we can't hear you clap for Riley, but everybody give it up for Riley Bray. Come on. Super producer. Seriously, just crying my eyes out. What a way to set
use a good cry these days, right?
Yeah, what a way to set me up for this show. I'm in a very vulnerable place, as most of us are. That was beautiful, Riley. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mike.
Once more, everybody, give it up for Riley Bray. Oh, well, welcome, everyone, to Bigfoot Collectors Club live here on LUUDO. It's our big live finale to Wet Hot Alien Summer 2, Summer Abduction. The show that was harder to get into than Area 51. Congratulations, you made it. You Naruto run your way here. We love you guys. Thank you.
Thanks for your perseverance. Yeah.
Yes. But though, in all seriousness, I want to thank LUUDO upfront for having us. For all of you for joining us and helping out tonight. We have an invisible producer, Mike G. So thanks, Mike, for being up there. He's going to be helping us out with some stuff during the show. Obviously, I'm Michael McMillan, your host of Bigfoot Collectors Club, the show where we talk to amazing guests about personal paranormal history and share stories of high strangeness. With me always is your other host,
Bryce Johnson,
and our super producer and beautiful voice,
Riley Bray.
Oh, boy, guys. Our finale to Wet Hot Alien Summer 2, this sequel, Summer Abduction. This sequel ran for 15 weeks.
That's a lot of hot aliens, man.
It's like we went back to the desert and found the alien bodies that had been like rotting from the second crash site for a full year. And we're going through those remains. I know for me, it's been full of rosé and alien grays. How are you guys holding up?
Pretty good, man. I'll tell you what, I'll be happy to move on to some cryptids and to some Bigfoot action and leave those UFOs and aliens for a little while. In this last summer, I'm ready to move into some cooler weather and some cooler cryptids.
Well, yeah, for me, it's just the weather, man. I am done sweating. I don't have AC in my studio, and I've already got that show glow going on.
That's a rock star. That is a glam rock glow. I mean,
glam glisten.
Yeah, glam glisten, baby. Hashtag Riley Bray's glam glisten. We need to bottle that up. You know, there are people who would buy that glam glisten. You could just pour it straight. You could just wring your hair out like this, and we'll sell it as a premium over on the Patreon.
Gnarly.
Yeah. So look. I just want to say up front, there are a few after show slots, I think, still available. I could be wrong, to have a little one-on-one after show. I almost said action, which sounded really horrible.
Hey, I mean, if you get lucky, you can always get
money, you know what I'm saying? You got 5 minutes.
We didn't reach our Patreon goal for this summer, so I guess it's down to me. But we will, I'll be hanging out after the show for a little one-on-one meet and greets. If any point in this show you decide, I still like these guys and I want to talk to Michael, you can grab one of those limited spots right there in the lobby where you're at. Also, our producers are going to be fielding questions and comments throughout the show. We can't see your chat, but we're getting stuff in. So we will take your thoughts and input as they come in, and then at the very end of the show, we will have a formal Q&A where we will answer some of your questions. Riley, any comments coming through so far that we just want to touch in on? Any questions?
People are asking, get on the beers. Great. Oh, I know who this is because he sent me that thing. He's asking how long till the Cryptic Battle Royale version 2.0.
Guys, Halloween is right around the corner. Zombie Bigfoot's Cryptid Crypt is probably reopening for the month of October. So we're going to have a round 2. That will be an exclusive over on BCC The Other Side. So go to patreon.com/Bigfoot Collectors Club. Subscribe there for all of our content. If you guys aren't doing it, you guys really are. There's almost like 160 episodes plus some video episodes just waiting for you over there. We have a blast. I am emailing listeners every day with their questions and comments. So if you really want to be part of the show, much like this, then get over there to the other side. And we will be doing a sequel to Zombie Bigfoot's Scary 16 Monster Showdown. Have no doubt, because the Ultimate Champion has to defend his title. And if you don't know who that is, we won't spoil it for you. Go over to the Patreon and listen to our episode from last October. It is probably one of my most favorite fun.
Still, definitely one of my favorite episodes. I remember playing it for my son, and just the look of confusion, excitement, and wonderment, all wrapped up into one little 10-year-old head was just, it was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I feel like your son looks at you with a lot of confusion, Bryce. Am I right?
No, yeah, totally true. Yeah,
that's good parenting. Keep them confused, Don't let them.
Actually, Bryce and his son and I went to the PowerCon last weekend. We went to the He-Man convention in Los Angeles, and my favorite thing ever was that his son picked out an obscure Thundercats villain who had no weapons as his favorite figure from the convention. It brought him home. Rotaro is the character's name.
I go, so we're, as my daughter calls it, NerdCon. So we were going around toy shopping.
That's amazing.
And I'm like, okay, Walker, because he's been collecting the new Motu characters, Masters of the Universe characters, re-released lately. And I'm like, okay, you got about $50 you can spend. And he's like, okay, $50. And then we see the new Castle of Grayskull selling for $90. And I was like, all right, I'm going to bump you up to 100. And he's a big G.I. Joe collector. So we were getting down to the end of the thing. And I was like, okay, man, is it going to be the Castle of Grayskull or these two G.I. Joes, Zartan and I forget the other one, but they were
Major
cool.
Blood, I think, was the other one.
And he was like, he's like, I'll show you. And then he takes me, he's like looking for it. And he's like, there it is. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And it's like, Rotaro. I had never seen Rotaro. And I'm like, that's what you want? That's what you want? He's like, don't make me feel bad. But anyway,
don't shame your son, Brad.
I got him that and the Castle of Grayskull.
I've never seen a father want to buy his child a $90 toy more than you did in them. I was like, I wish you were my father in that moment. It was pretty brilliant. All right,
he
guys.
He has eclectic taste.
Yes, he does. He's a cool kid. Okay, let's get into the first big order of business. At the beginning of the summer, we requested a favor, a mission, if you will, to give us 1,000 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. Why Apple Podcasts? That's just because we're the majority of you guys listen to the show, and we're trying to get this show to more people. It's all an algorithm, baby. So if we made that goal, we would record the episode that the ancient masters once prophesized as a message received to them by crystalline bubble ships hovering over the shores of Lemuria. Yes. I, of course, am speaking of the BCC, a jet ski special.
Woo!
There was a submission to the mission. If we received 1,000 patrons over at BCC The Other Side, we would include some nude video of Bryce riding a jet ski. So let's just begin in reverse, shall we? Let's back this jet ski up. Bryce, will you be naked on a jet ski?
No. Unfortunately, I will not be donning a birthday suit on a jet ski. Okay, fine. But Bryce, will you be on a jet ski? We've tallied up the 5-star reviews. Remember, not total reviews, 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts.
And the final number, Bryce, what is the final number? Guys, little drum roll.
Okay,
Right? Riley,
here we
give us
go.
a drum roll. Give us a drum roll, Riley.
Guys, between USA
No,
and Canada. Oh,
no. Stick to the script, Bryce.
well, that's what
Stick
you
to the
texted
script.
me. No.
Stick to the script. Here's the thing. We didn't. We only got 957 5-star reviews. That's it. 957. We came so close.
So close.
Wah, wah,
So
wah.
close. Bryce, you came so close to staying on the script. It's amazing.
Wait.
There's a script there's a script for the show, and then there's a private thing that we text one another on the Riley, what are you saying?
Oh, well, I'm getting an update right now on the official BCC Newswire. And Canada, our neighbors to the north, have come through. And
What?
we are now at 1,003 5-star reviews. Jet ski special.
Wait, what?
What?
Are you kidding me?
I am
Canada came
quite
through?
serious. Canada
Can we
came-
do that?
We can do that, of course.
What? Canada comes through with
It's America's hat.
wait, I got it right here with
Canada's pants.
57 5-star reviews from Canada, putting us over the edge. You guys completely obliterated this entire bit, but I still love you.
I mean, I accept very
Pull
little.
up the Google Doc. It's all written out. It's all written out. Guys, congratulations. Invisible producer Mike, throw up that graphic. We will be doing the BCC Jet Ski Special. It will be happening this fall 2021 before the end of the year. We promise we will have the BCC Jet Ski Special in your ears. And if you're over on the Patreon, there might be some of it in your eyes. Not as much as we promised at the beginning of the summer, as we will all have our swim trunks on. But congratulations. Thank you. We're going to tally it up. We're going to make this happen for you guys. We appreciate it. We really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Congratulations. The Jet Ski Special is officially happening.
Yeah. Thank you to all who gave us those 5-star reviews. And thank you to Canada, who's never let me down. My wife and some of my best friends are Canadian. So
Yeah, and that's where we're
love you
all
up
going to
north.
live in about, 5 years. So get ready,
Yeah.
Canada.
God bless
Make
you.
some room for us. Okay. All right. Let's get into the show. Bryce, Riley, pull up that script that I wrote. Just keep your eye on that script that I have for you over there on the Google Docs.
I have it. I was ready.
Okay, great.
Oh,
I'm going to go
All
off
right.
the cuff.
Let's not. do
shocking.
that. So
A shocking turn of events.
we will have some visitors dropping in during the event through our Bigfoot portal that Bryce is going to open through the power of meditation. So
That's
be
right.
prepared. Viewer, you might even be pulled through the Bigfoot portal into the live stream. Be prepared. No one is safe from the other side.
That's
Right.
right. I can summon UFOs and I can also open portals. Just a few of my little tricks.
Great. All right, let's get into it. Get ready, Riley and Invisible producer Mike, because we have some BCC news.
Yeah. All right.
Our old friend Louis Elizondo is in the news this week. This comes from the Hollywood Reporter of all places.
Oh,
Former Pentagon UFO official Luis Elizondo to reveal quote unquote shocking details in new book. The former head of the U.S. government's secretive UFO program will pen a book for HarperCollins that includes profound implications for humanity, quote unquote. The former director of a secretive U.S. government UFO program is ready to tell his full story. Luis Elizondo, who headed the Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program's efforts to study UFOs around the world, has signed a book deal with William Morrow, an imprint of HarperCollins, after competitive bidding war for the U.S. publishing rights. The memoir promises to reveal shocking, never-before-shared details regarding what Elizondo has learned about UFOs and the profound implications for humanity, all of which will escalate what is already a hot topic globally. And by hot, they must mean wet hot.
That's what they mean.
Elizondo was a former U.S. Army counterintelligence special agent and helped hunt drug traffickers, terrorists, and spies. In 2008, he was asked to be part of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, a $22 million program sponsored by the then Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid to study UFOs. In 2010, he was made director of the program. In 2017, he resigned from his position in protest of excessive government secrecy regarding UFOs. Elizondo was also involved in To the Stars Academy, as our BCC Club Scouts know, from 2017 to 2020, and appeared on History Channel's Unidentified Inside America's UFO Investigation. In 2019, a Pentagon spokesperson attempted to cast doubt on Elizondo's leadership role within the AATIP, or ATIP, but Reid issued a counterstatement that firmly vouched for Elizondo's position. Said Elizondo in a statement, quote, "The American people now know a small portion of what I and my colleagues in the Pentagon have been privy to." I wish I had a soul patch.
It would be better.
Filter. They
You'd
need to
sound
make
more
one.
legit.
Yeah, I would. I need like a Guy Fieri filter to really pull this off.
Mm-hmm.
These UAP are not secretive U.S. technology. That they do not seem to belong to any known allies or adversaries, and that our intelligence services have yet to identify a terrestrial explanation for these extraordinary vehicles. This conversation is only beginning. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. So, Bryce, what do you think Elizondo has left to say that he hasn't already said on the J.J. Abrams documentary, over on Showtime, in any of these reports on 60 Minutes? What is he holding anything back?
Yeah, well, he's got a lot to say. Look, if he was in charge, like he said he was, of that program, then he's seen a lot more videos than the Tic Tac, Gimbal, and Go Fast. He's seen probably dozens of military grade videos of anomalous phenomena. So he's probably got a lot more to spill, and hopefully he doesn't hold back. I mean, it should read like a Tammy Faye novel. He better spill those fucking beans,
All right. Spill those beans like a Tammy Faye novel? What is that? Like
Tammy Faye Baker, man. She spilled the beans.
Did she write novels?
Well, a bio.
Oh, okay. All right. A memoir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Memoir.
Okay.
A memoir.
Memoir.
Yeah.
Are you watching that Tammy Faye Baker movie that's coming out with Jessica Chastain and Andrew Garfield? The middle son Spider-Man?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm a little jaded. I auditioned for a part and I didn't get it. So I think I'm just gonna ban it instead.
Still waiting to hear back on that one, are you?
That's how those things work. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Riley, what do you think? You've been listening to us talk about Louis Elizondo for about 4 years now.
I mean, with all this, it's like anything else in life. It's like I don't really get my hopes up too much because I don't want to just be disappointed. So, is it going to be a life-changing book? Probably not. Is it going to be something cool? Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at.
How many people you think would actually recognize if you dressed up as Lou Elizondo for Halloween? How many people, walking the streets do you think would actually get it?
Like you and Michael.
That's pretty fair.
Challenge accepted.
Yep. All right. We'll take some Halloween pics. We'll see what happens. Okay, guys, let's move on to the next segment. This is one that we love to do over on BCC The Other Side. And it started with one of our live shows over at FanX Salt Lake a couple of years ago. It's been like 2 years since that show with Marcy and Betsy.
Yeah.
From A Funny Feeling. It's so sad. That's the last time we did, I think, a live show. Maybe we did one at Bigfoot Lodge, but it's time, invisible producer Mike, for what, Bryce?
Well, it's one of my favorite segments, a segment I like to call Bryce's Secret Stash. Let's jump into it. Hold on. Let me get into my secret stash outfit here. Gonna throw on some.
He's got props. Pro.
MIB vibes,
Whoa, nice.
All right, gentlemen. These are some pretty secretive videos.
You really do look like an MIB with your AirPods sticking out of your ears. That's kind of how they were described, with like weird wires and stuff sticking out of their ankles.
Are these Jello knives? I'm not sure how to eat my breakfast.
What are these tiny spoons in my ears?
Let's jump right into our first video. And Mike, before you roll it, you roll it right now. Take a close look. Oh, okay. That's just a little tease here. Now, Mike, you sent me this video. I had heard about it. This one is called Bigfoot Caught on Camera in Provo, Idaho. And they've actually
my mom sent me this video of all people. My mom was the one who texted me this.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah. So Mike sent it my way. Go ahead and play the video there, Mike. And as you can see, I mean, it looks like a Bigfoot.
Very Patterson vibes, that Bigfoot.
Yeah, he's just sort of, I mean, I like the hand. Everything looks that it's got that bull's neck and the big butt, the big booty. And, you know, it all looks pretty good. But this is what I texted to Mike, and this is kind of how I feel about it, right? So just to give you a little background, it was submitted anonymously to a Bigfoot channel called Night TV. And whenever there's someone who doesn't want to claim the video as original source material, I take umbrage with that. And you know what? Here's another problem I have is it's just this clip, and it doesn't go further before this, and it doesn't go much after that. So why did you stop recording? You know what I mean? And what happened before? Yeah, that
this? Bigfoot's walking into a lot of open space. It feels like you could keep this rolling a little bit longer.
You would think that you would, keep that video rolling and then, even go back and look for tracks. But I don't know, perhaps this person wanted to remain anonymous. I don't know the context of how this video was taken. Here's the thing, right? It's like, I need context. I need to know where you were, why you were there, what was going on around you, how did you feel about it? I need to know that stuff if you want me to think that you got a legit Bigfoot video. So what do you guys think, though? Looks pretty cool, right?
It's I don't understand why they would stop recording. That's crazy. Like it does delegitimize the whole thing,
Yeah,
Riley, you're really bringing the Optimus Prime voice quality reverb to this proceeding all of a sudden.
Yeah, somehow it says, ooh, I don't know what's happening. Oh God,
it's okay. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
I feel like there's like some muscular. There does look to be some like musculature to this thing, but without being able to see the original footage and the full thing, it looks cool. Yeah. It's impressive, but I can't. We need to hear the story. What's the story of high strangeness behind this one? That's what I want.
Exactly. Until then, it's just a little clip of something walking. So let's move on to video number 2. Now, this video, before you roll it, Mike, this video has made the rounds on the internet for a while, and I'm wondering if you guys have already probably seen it, but this is called the Beast of Gum Hill video. Mike, you can go ahead and roll it. I love the old home video sound quality too.
And the Forerunner.
Yeah.
This guy's driving straight to a Fred Durst concert. He's like, can't get to Limp Bizkit fast enough.
But now he sees, look in the back there. And that's it. He points to it.
What was that?
I love his son too. What the hell was that, Paul? But that's called the Beast of Gum Hill video. And, one of the things I love about it, Mike, is we know what Bigfoot is, but I love when you get into the word beast, and it becomes more caricature, like the Beast of Abear Road and the Beast of Gum Hill. And I mean, really, they're talking about a Bigfoot, but they've already sort of given it some personality traits. Apparently, there was an old still image taken in the 80s of this Beast of Gum Hill, but this is just a guy on an ATV who said, basically, on April 5th, 2009, approximately 6:30 p.m., he said, this is the second time I've seen this creature called the Beast of Gum Hill, but this is the first time we managed to capture it on video. This is the first known video footage of the Beast of Gum Hill. And the camera used was a cheap digital Viewpont 5.0 with waterproof case that he uses to film while he does his ATV videos. Awesome. I mean, you got to just love that, If you're out in the woods, though, I mean, this lends credibility, right? If you're out in the woods filming ATV videos in like streams and dense woods, you know, that kind of gives it some authenticity.
Yeah, I guess my only skepticism about this, other than the fact it's a Bigfoot video, and that's, you know, prompts you to be skeptical to begin with, is, you know, if these creatures are like trying to hide out, why would they walk wide out in the open when one of the noisiest things is driving through, steered by a man with a backwards baseball cap? I mean, why would it stroll straight into view if it's trying to hide from human beings?
Well, you know, it's the same reason sometimes you hear about a lot of these creatures running in front of the highway, in front of cars. Some people even you know, have guesstimated that perhaps it's even like some type of initiation to like walk in front of somebody. Or, you know, some of the witnesses I've talked to, they often felt like, you know, when these creatures want to be seen, they want to be seen, and they'll show themselves right out in the open like that, just crossing a road or crossing a stream, or just, you know, get right out in front of your path. So I don't know, there could be a bevy of reasons of why this creature was crossing the stream at that point. Who knows?
I really like the idea. It's like the teenage Bigfoot's like daring the other one. He's like, go walk in front of that dude with the baseball hat.
Well, no, that's exactly what some of the people I've spoken with, even indigenous tribes, they say it's an initiation of sorts. And that's why so many people see road crossings. You know, there's a lot of, especially in the Pacific Northwest, there's a lot of road crossing reports of these things running right in front of people's cars. Now, are they doing it just to cross the road, or is it a little bit more, like you said, Riley, like a teenage dare? But I like this video. The guy hasn't made any more Bigfoot videos. This is the only one he has. And you know, it's, speaking of, let's segue into the third video. Now, you know, here's the thing. So many hunters set up trail cameras all over the United States. And you would think if there's Bigfoots, as many as people are reporting, you'd get a lot more trail camera footage. You know, there are a few trail camera images I like that purports to show a hairy bipedal creature, but this one came out just recently in 2000 in April of this year. Now, I check this video out. Mike, just roll the video. Take a look.
Ooh.
Bigfoot.
What the fuck is that, right? Now check this out. This comes from
before.
This comes from a guy named Jimmy B Trail Cameras. He's got a YouTube page set up where basically he's in the Birch Bay, Washington area, where he sets up stealth trail cameras. So his whole thing is stealth trail cameras. Now, I've visited his page, and it's wildlife. Sometimes it's a mountain lion or an owl or a deer. He doesn't have any Bigfoot videos. He only has about, you know, a couple dozen videos. And this popped up over this summer, and he was like, what the fuck is this? Right. I've shown it to a few people, and some people say, you know, it could be a hunter, but to me, I see like patchy hair and that long arm and that butt and that butt.
You're really into Bigfoot butts today, Bryce.
I'm into Bigfoot butts, but I don't know. What do you guys think? I like this video.
I've seen this one before. I actually feel like I'm a hard skeptic on this one. I think it's moving so smoothly it looks like CGI to me. I think it is trail cam footage, but I think someone's gone in and created a CGI Bigfoot in it.
Why?
That's just me judging it from my naked eye.
Okay, Riley, what about you, man?
It's more like shadow person-y than Bigfoot-y to me. It's like the way it's like a little lanky and kind of creepy.
It just moves so smoothly. I don't know. This one screams CGI.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to have like the weight in its footsteps that like a giant Squatch would have. It is
a couple of real critics now that we've looked at some Bigfoot videos.
Well, no, I'm saying it's some sort of, you know, and spirit entity, perhaps.
No, I'm just breaking your chops. Yeah, I don't know what it is either. We don't get a clear look, but I think from the type of videos that this guy's posting on his channel, which are just wildlife oriented, And look, this guy,
Producer Mike, let's play this one full screen so everyone can get a good look at this one and see what they say. But keep going, Bryce.
Yeah. Remember where this was taken, right? This is in the Washington area where we were last year on the season 2 of Expedition Bigfoot, where we had so much activity. So it's not like this was taken in like, Iowa, which also has Bigfoot sightings, but this is taken in the state with the most Bigfoot sightings per capita anywhere in the continental United States. So I like this video. It's getting a lot of streams.
I want to believe that this dude didn't make it too, because like what a crazy long con to like set up a bunch of trail cam, start a nature trail cam channel, build that up all so that you can do this one fake Bigfoot. I was like,
it's a long burn if that's the
I don't think it's
playing,
anyone in a costume. I think it's someone just doing a little CGI edit. It's smooth, unless these Bigfoot, which is possible, could move so smoothly gliding through the forest, which they probably have those powers, but I don't know. This one doesn't smell right to me.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Well, let's move on to our final video. Now, look, I know you guys know what you think, what I think is my favorite Bigfoot video, probably the #1 Bigfoot video ever, which is the Patterson Gimlin footage.
Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
Okay.
But do you guys have any idea of what is sort of the undisputed #2 Bigfoot video of all time?
No idea.
I'm just trying not to make a #2 joke, but go on.
Yeah. Well, that would be the Paul Freeman Bigfoot video. Now, this is a video that was taken in Walla Walla, Washington. Paul Freeman worked for the U.S. Forest Service near a watershed. And on his sojourns up there, he started spotting tracks. And he basically, in 1984, he saw with his own eyes a reddish brown Bigfoot creature. And from thence on, he started carrying around a video camera. Now, fast forward about 10 years, and he's walking around the watershed, and he notices all these tracks. And I'm only playing, this is about an 8-minute video. I've only zoned in on about 3 minutes of it. But in the first, and we'll put up the links to all these, but in the very first top of the video, you see he's looking at like what looks like a junior Bigfoot track, like it's a small track. And he even has plaster casts. But let's go ahead and start playing the video. So he sees these tracks and he's following, and I'll kind of be quiet because he starts talking you through it a little bit. But this is the Paul Freeman.
Oh, shit, he's come down and went back up, boy. Yeah. Look at that.
Now, these are the bigger tracks. These aren't the smaller ones that are in the beginning of the video.
Yeah, look at that. Sure have.
I mean, look at that difference in quality of just those old VHS recorders.
One back up, one back up.
Not the best.
Yeah. Look at that. Can't see much up through here. I hear the brush popping and stuff.
Watch this.
Oh, there he goes.
Whoa.
Jesus.
There it goes again.
Get up here where I can see real quick.
Now, there's so much I want to discuss in this video because
better picture.
you know, people have said that they've heard it at like the 3-minute 30-second mark, they've heard like a whoop. So they've actually heard the creature sort of making the famed whoop calls. And not only that, I don't know if when you saw the creature, oh, I'll let him because he says something pretty profound here at the end.
Cameras really have come a long way.
Yeah.
No kidding.
But this just goes to show like how hard it is to capture anything. Like, I mean, and this is kind of out in the open in the daylight hours.
Yeah.
But
where they went.
This is probably the longest segment of heavy breathing we've ever had on the show.
I know. Well, he goes on to say, I guess we can just stop it. But he says he thinks there's two of them.
I mean, this is pretty compelling, Bryce.
Let me give you some context of this video. So, Mike, you can stop it or just keep playing it on mute, whatever you want to do, and rewind it. But so the plaster cast that he took, famed anthropologist Dr. Grover Krantz came and looked at these plaster casts and these trackways, and he was convinced enough that they were legit. And these are the tracks that really got Dr. Grover Krantz interested. Grover Krantz was a famed anthropologist from Washington State, and really one of the earliest scientists to get involved into the Bigfoot phenomenon. But he saw in those plaster casts spontaneous toe movement. And like, in other words, they weren't the same track over and over. Sometimes he would see like a splayed pinky toe. Sometimes he would see like the number 1 and number 2 digits like dug into the ground. And so these weren't just like 1 or 2 footprints. These were trackways. And I'm talking about, dozens and dozens of footprints, all showing unique, spontaneous impressions, which really left Grover Krantz saying, there is something to this. This tells me that this is evidence of some type of creature leaving this behind. Not only that, but Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum, who has one of the largest plaster cast tracks in the collections in the world, this is what got him convinced that there was also something to it. He took a look at those trackways and those plaster casts left by Paul Freeman, made by Paul Freeman, and he was convinced that there was something to that. Now, you know what I love about this, Mike, if you can just go back a little bit. Some people say like he's either like crawled on the ground, and some people even say that he like went through a portal, because if you could play it here, you see him when he comes out into the open, that he hides behind that tree. There's a watch. And now he's gone. Keep playing it. Gone. Now watch him come out the other side. Right? Like, I don't know. That's really weird. Like either he got down or he went through a portal real quick.
Some people like to say that he went into a portal. They ate the sharpest tool in the shed.
Look, if you don't know about this video, or if you haven't watched the whole thing, we'll put the link up in our show notes. But this is the Paul Freeman Bigfoot video, and I recommend watching all 8 minutes of it. It's incredible stuff. One of my favorite shows, shout out to Paranormal Caught on Camera. They did the 200 best paranormal videos, and this one ended up at numero uno. So
wow.
This, like the PGF film, has never been debunked. It's never been proven. Of course, they can't. So it really lies up there as, epic in the scope of Bigfoot video.
I'll give them this. Like, if that's a real Bigfoot, they really it makes you realize that the dark colors of the fur, if that's what they are, like really blend in with the shadows of the gaps in between the trees, because it's hard. They could just stand there, and it would look like a shadow between trees. So,
some people think they see like a junior Sasquatch being picked up at the end and taken off as well.
I mean, I can't see any of that in this video, but that's fun that some people do.
But this is the first time in the cast that you heard the word dermal ridges, because in those plaster casts, they thought they were seeing what's called like dermal ridges, which is like the unique little wave pattern on your fingers. It's like a fingerprint for toes.
Right,
As a matter of fact, they had a forensic expert who's a fingerprint analysis expert out of the state of Texas named Jimmy Chilcutt, who that's his expertise. He could put somebody in the chair off fingerprint evidence alone. He looked at these trackways and he was convinced that there was a Bigfoot
brutal example.
Yeah,
I like that you pulled capital punishment into
capital punishment, man. So anyway, that's the Paul Freeman video.
That is an amazing detail.
Take a look.
Detail of the trackways is I mean, it really validates, and that's what you're looking for, right? Like cross-referencing things. Like you have the video evidence, and then you have the physical evidence, and then you have it verified by actual scientists, not like
you have the start of this video. It's 8 minutes long. You have the end of it. You have he made plaster casts of the trackways. He had expert scientists come in and analyze those tracks. I mean, other than having somebody else with him, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, that one right there, Bryce, that's some dank stash right there.
Thanks, baby.
That's some CS, some classic Sasquatch. All right, well, the jacket and the hat have come off. That means the MIB have gone home for the day. I guess it's time for our next segment. You know, usually this is around the time when we like to play a very special game with our guests, but we don't have any guests tonight. We just have our audience. So, Bryce, I was wondering, you know, if you could meditate hard and maybe open up that Bigfoot portal and maybe bring just a random individual, just someone sitting out there right now watching, and portal them into an audience member into the show. Can you do that? And we'll play a game with them.
Yeah, let me get to work. Let me get a couple of my important talismans. I have my Doctor Strange.
Oh, wow.
Little orange elf guy. We'll need him.
You know you need that orange elf.
And Elvis. All right.
Yep.
Of course.
Let's get to work.
Okay. Here we go. He's doing it. Oh, I guess I'll join in too. Do we say anything or
not yet? No.
Now
you can say something.
Wait.
What do I say?
I think it's working. It's working.
What?
I feel it.
What?
Bryce,
Yes. I think I see a random audience member that was in no way previously selected for this bit.
It should be opening.
Can you?
Whoa.
Audience
this is just a strange man. Audience member? Who are you?
Hi. Austin.
Hey,
Austin. Your name? Hi, Austin. Nice to meet you. How are you?
Oh my God, it worked.
Confused. Yes, I would be too. Good job, Bryce. That was very impressive.
Yeah, the height of your powers.
He's a parent. Are you at like are you at a sushi restaurant watching this? Where are you?
I was at home.
Oh,
he's in a parallel dimension to us, Michael. So I don't think they serve sushi there.
Okay, I was just judging from the decor that maybe
of course
he was in Little Tokyo. All right. Well, Austin, thanks for joining us. I hope how's the show going so far? Are you enjoying it?
Oh, it's great. It's really calming my my existential paranoia. So
great. That's what we're here for. All right. Well, are you obviously familiar with the show if you're watching this live stream?
I am.
Okay, well, there's a game that we like to play with our audience members when we're doing live shows in person. So we're not doing that. So we've summoned you here. This is a game, and feel free, commenters and watchers, if you want to comment as we go along, play along with us in the comment section. This is a game that we like to call Bullshit
or Believe It.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, listener Austin from the audience, I just realized that I actually don't have the list pulled up here, so I have to back out of this document. Get it.
Austin, what did you think of those? Were you able to see those videos from the secret stash?
I was.
What did you think of the trail camera one?
The trail camera one is probably the most compelling for me. Oh, sorry. No, I'm thinking of the very last.
Oh, the last one. The Paul Freeman.
That other one, bullshit. Forget that. But
I kind of think it's a hunter. I kind of think I can see the
I've heard that too.
Shirt at the end. I feel like it's a camo pattern that is working wonders. So
Gotcha. But you like that Paul Freeman video?
That one is the most compelling. That it doesn't seem like someone who's trying to pull one over on somebody. It seems like someone who's just trying to figure out what's going on. So
gotcha. Good to know.
All right. Well, I've summoned the list from my nether dimension. Here we go. Austin, on your mark, I'm going to go down the list. a phenomena. If you're open to it, you're going to say believe it. If you're not open to it, you're going to say bullshit. You know how this goes. Here we go. On your mark, get set, ghosts.
Bullshit.
UFOs.
Believe it.
Bigfoot.
Believe it.
ESP.
Bullshit.
Shadow people.
Bullshit.
Unicorns.
Bullshit.
Alien abductions.
Bullshit.
Yeti.
Believe it.
Mothman.
Bullshit.
Out of body experiences.
Believe it. Ish.
Tarot cards.
Bullshit.
Demonically possessed dolls.
I wish. Bullshit.
The healing power of crystals.
Bullshit.
An alien spacecraft crashed at Roswell.
Believe it.
Loch Ness monster.
Believe it.
Atlantis.
Believe it.
Haunted houses.
Bullshit.
Skunk ape.
What's skunk ape?
Oh, how dare you, sir?
Oh,
We
come
know you
on.
listen to this show. You're here. We're not oh, no! The sushi restaurant has fallen apart. He seems to be in some sort of office.
I was so wanting it. It's exposed. It's not a sushi restaurant.
Are you okay? Are you doing okay? Are
I'm
you
doing
okay,
fine.
audience
Oh,
member?
that's awesome.
Austin.
Oh my God, the level of trauma you have just brought to this.
Listen, these
that
portals are tricky things. These portals create unstable energy. We got to get him through this list before. Okay, here we go. Get ready. Are you
I
okay?
couldn't have played that better. Oh, I'm totally fine.
Okay, great. How dare you not believe in haunted houses or skunk ape? Here we go. Boy, I'm scared to keep going. The Jersey Devil.
You guys didn't know I was into physical comedy.
We don't even know you, sir. How would we know that? The Jersey Devil.
Bullshit.
The Biblical Devil.
Bullshit.
Speaking to the dead.
Bullshit.
Mermaids.
I believe in gravity now. So, bullshit.
The government is hiding the truth about Sasquatch.
Believe it.
Past lives.
Bullshit.
Life on other planets.
Believe it.
Life after death.
Bullshit.
Wow, well done, Austin. That's our first injury playing this game. You ate it in front of a room full of people. I hope you're okay. And look, no one is leaving this live show with their dignity intact. So welcome to Bigfoot Collectors Club.
One of us.
This portal is very slippery. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Out of that list, what do you say you're most open to? And this is a question for everyone in the audience. Put this in the comment. What are you most open to and what are you least open to?
Of the ones that I said bullshit to, or just overall?
Just out of this whole list, out of the ones you said believe it, what are you most open to, and the ones out of you said bullshit the least?
Well, not having the list in front of me, I would say from memory, probably Bigfoot.
Most open.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great.
Most open
and
to
least open. And I'm surprised you still have your memory, your short-term memory after that. So that's good that you could remember Bigfoot.
It was a test, actually.
I'm so glad that happened. It's I'm glad I could add something to the show.
Oh, you did. You delivered.
Let's see. Least into probably it would be a toss-up between mermaids and unicorns, I think.
I guess those are easy ones.
Now, I noticed, I was going to say, Austin, no ghosts. Huh? I think rarely do we get people who don't believe in ghosts, seeing as how we all but proved it here on the Bigfoot Collectors Club. Why no ghosts?
I think, unlike Bigfoot, I feel like with ghosts, we would just have, at this point, just an overwhelming amount of evidence. And I think a lot of the evidence for ghosts is so, frankly, silly. Some of it's like, it's interesting, it's entertaining. I hope, I'm open-minded, I'm open to it being a possibility, but I just don't think it works that way. I could be wrong.
That said, do you think it's possible that a ghost pulled your chair out?
I know that happened. Actually, I changed my mind already. So.
Right. Once again, we've proven ghosts. Austin, great job. It's amazing, Bryce, out of the entire multiverse, you managed to pull one other cis white male into this podcast. Congratulations. Thank you, Austin. Enjoy the show. We're going to send you back to the portal. Bryce,
I'm going to return this chair.
Thank you. Yes, be careful on your way out. All right. As we're saying goodbye to Austin, let's move on to the next. Wait a minute. What's happening? I'm feeling a weird vibration.
Yeah,
I feel almost as if
time closing this.
Yeah, this portal's not closing. What's happening? Oh my gosh. Holy cow. BCC Club Scouts of all timelines. Is that comedian and BCC Godmother Jen Kirkman?
Hi. I guess I was just sitting around and I felt this strange pull and I went to my computer.
That was me. That was me pulling you into the portal.
I felt it.
First things first, double check the stability of your chair because okay, good. All right, we're good. Wow. Are you also eating sushi tonight? Are you watching this from a sushi restaurant?
No, I'm not. I'm in an undisclosed location.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
No, I'm in my home office.
Jen, we had you on the other side last week, and people were very upset that it wasn't a video where they could see your office. You had prepared a video episode, and you were upset that it was actually an audio episode. So we've had multiple requests saying we need to see Jen's podcast setup.
Here it is. But I was upset because I was wearing my Bill Murray Total Consciousness t-shirt, which is a Caddyshack reference, but goes well with this type of podcast. So I'm wearing it tonight.
Amazing.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, listen, the show's already running long, and we just got to the best part of the whole show, which, of course, is anytime Jen Kirkman joins. Because guess what, guys? It's time for this week's story of high strangeness.
All right. Yes.
High strangeness.
Get dressed for this.
All right. So guys, we're closing out Wet Hot Alien Summer 2 Summer Abduction with a doozy. Okay, here we go. I'm going to give you guys a little context for this. And I'm going to tell you, I don't fully understand the context for this. This is something that has popped up online as I've been doing research now on this podcast for years. Now, I believe that what we're about to read is considered to be part of something called the MJ12 or Majestic 12 documents leak that some people think are fake, some people think are real. Stanton Friedman, some of it might be real, some of it might not be real. This is just part of what came out in the 80s from the government or the CIA or the FBI, and it's been floating out there in the internet, right? Stanton Friedman saw some of these documents, not this in particular, I don't think. I mean, he probably did, but some of the stuff that came out through this treasure trove of documents led people to believe in the Roswell cover-up that happened and rediscovered it in the 80s. Now, Bryce, am I missing anything here?
No, I think you set that up nicely.
Okay.
All right.
So this is what we're going to do. We are going to read, nay, perform for all of you watching at home with the help of Jen Kirkman, something called the REAGAN Alien Transcripts, a dramatic adaptation by Michael McMillan for the BCC. Now, this is supposedly a meeting that happened between Reagan and some very important people in 1981. And this is Reagan learning about the existence of extraterrestrial races that have visited Earth. Now, there's a lot in this particular document that I cut out for time. We're just going to focus on the conversations about the individual alien races, okay? So, Riley, why don't you bring us in, set us a picture, and then we're going to say who we're all playing. All right, guys? I have my little script printed up right here. This is going to be like you're seeing a play reading at the Ojai Playwrights Festival.
All right. The following is an edited version of an alleged transcript of a classified tape recording made at Camp David, Maryland, during a presidential briefing regarding the subject of unidentified flying objects and extraterrestrial visitation of Earth. President Ronald Reagan was present.
Now, I'm playing Ronald Reagan, the newly elected president of the United States of America.
Jen, who are you playing?
You're next. Oh, sorry. I was like, you're next. I am playing the caretaker, a clandestine CIA operative.
I'm playing William Casey, the director of the CIA at the time.
And I'll be advisor number 1, an unnamed military advisor to the president. And the setting is Camp David, March 1981. William Casey addresses the room.
Mr. President, good morning. This briefing contains some very, very sensational and very, very classified information. I have asked the caretaker to conduct this briefing. He is a contract employee of the CIA and is the present custodian of the information. As you will see, Mr. President, this stuff is pretty high up on the food chain. Okay. We call it ATS, or above top secret. Now, the caretaker here is in charge of protecting the information and all the other stuff associated with the information. I would prefer that you, Mr. President, just remember that this material is it's a closely guarded secret. Yes. Although the gist of this story has been out there for many years, very little of the actual truth has ever been released to the public. So I will now turn the briefing over to the caretaker.
Well, thank you. I'd like to, I can't wait to hear this, first of all. I'd like to open with a joke. I hope you don't mind.
All right. I hope someone's writing this down.
2 men are discussing the government, an American and a Russian. And the American says, "Do you want to know the difference between our governments? I can walk into the White House, go into the Oval Office, slam my fists down on the Resolute desk and say, 'Mr. President, I don't like how you're running our country.' And the Russian says, 'Well, I can do that.' And the American says, 'You can?' And the Russian says, 'Sure, I can go into the Kremlin, go into the Secretary General, slam my fist down on his desk and say, 'Secretary General, I don't like how President Ronald Reagan is running his country.'"
That's great. That was great, Mr. President.
Thank you. Yeah, Gorby loved that one, and so did Nancy. Mommy, can you get me those peanut M&Ms? Okay, let's proceed.
All right. Okay, fair enough. Caretaker, please.
Good morning, Mr. President. First of all, I'd like to give you a bit of information on my background. But before that, please, Mr. President, if you have questions during this briefing, just interrupt me, sir.
Oh, I will.
I have been employed by the CIA for the past 31 years. I started the caretaking status of this project in 1960. We have a special group of people whom we call Group 6 that cares for all of this information.
Well, I knew a little bit about this subject before, to be honest. Back in 1970, Nixon had all of the good stuff and wanted to share it with some of his friends. So Nixon showed me some papers, not sure about who authored them, but something about New Mexico and other places. Nixon was pretty, fascinated with it. He showed me something, some kind of object or device that came from one of their craft, something that was taken from the New Mexico crash site. I don't know if, do we know if that's what it was? Do we know? Well, I don't think we knew, or maybe now after 11 years we might know.
Mr. President, the United States of America has been visited by extraterrestrial visitors since 1947. We have proof. We have proof of that. However, we also have proof that Earth has been visited for many thousands of years by various races of extraterrestrial visitors. See, in July 1947, a remarkable event occurred in New Mexico. During a storm, 2 ET spacecraft crashed. One crashed southwest of Corona, New Mexico, and one crashed near Daddle, New Mexico.
Okay.
And the U.S. Army eventually found both sites and recovered all of the debris and one live alien. And I'll refer to this live alien as EBE-1.
I'm going to stop you there. So what does that mean? Do we have codes or special terminology for this? Or
Mr. President, EBE means extraterrestrial biological entity.
Oh.
It was a code designated to this creature by the U.S. Army back in those days. This creature was not human, and we had to decide on a term for it. So scientists designated the creature as EBE-1.
EBE-1, or EB sometimes we call it too.
But we also refer to it as Noah.
Noah,
okay.
Yes.
Well, so do we have others, or the number 1 would seem to indicate that we have others?
Yes, we had others. And we'll explain how the others came into our knowledge. But
yeah, no, I'm just wondering, I guess. Well, I'm sure the briefing will get into this. Please continue.
Okay, all the debris and EBEs recovered from the first crash site were taken to Roswell Army Airfield in Roswell, New Mexico. EBE was treated for some minor injuries and then taken to Los Alamos National Laboratories, which was the safest and most secure location in the world. Special accommodations were made for the EBE. The debris was eventually transferred to Dayton, Ohio, home of the Air Force Foreign Technology Division. The second crash wasn't discovered until 1949 by some ranchers, and there were no live aliens at this site.
Okay, question regarding the first site. How many aliens were in the spaceship?
5 dead aliens and 1 alive. The bodies of the dead aliens were transported to Wright Field in Ohio and kept in a form of deep freeze. They were later transported to Los Alamos, where special containers were made to keep the bodies from decaying. There were 4 dead aliens in the second crash site. Those bodies were in an advanced state of decaying. They'd been in the desert for the past 2 years. Animals and time got to those bodies. The remains were transported to Sandia Base and eventually onto Los Alamos. We determined both crashed spaceships were of similar design, and the bodies of the aliens were all identical. They looked exactly the same. They had the same height, same weight, and same physical features.
Now, can we classify them? I mean, can we, connect them to anything earthly?
No, Mr. President. They don't have any similar characteristics of a human, with the exception of their eyes, ears, and a mouth. But their internal body organs are different. Their skin is different. Their eyes, ears, and even breathing is different. Their blood wasn't red, and their brain was entirely different from human. Their eyes had 2 different eyelids, probably because their home planet was very bright.
I mean, maybe I'm getting ahead, but do we know where they came from? Mars, our system, or where?
Well, yes, Mr. President, we do know where they come from. I can go into this now, or I can wait until it comes up in the briefing.
No, please continue. Not important. I'll wait.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. EBE stayed alive until 1952 when it died. We learned a great deal from EBE. Although EBE did not have voice organs like humans, it was able to communicate with an operation performed by military doctors. EBE was extremely intelligent. It learned English quickly, mainly by listening to the military personnel who were responsible for EBE's safety and care.
Smart little buggers, huh? Excuse me, you're referring to this creature as an it. Did it have a gender?
I'm sorry, Mr. President. Yes, it was a male. But within EBE's race, they do have males and females.
Okay, thank you. Continue.
Thank you, Mr. President. EBE died of what military doctors considered natural causes. It was difficult to lose EBE since it was the most interesting thing we as humans could receive and study. A visitor from another planet, another world. Sorry, I was getting... EBE did
exciting stuff, caretaker. Please, I mean, we know all about this stuff, but honestly, it's wild.
EBE did explain where he lives in the universe. We call this star system Zeta Reticuli, which is about reticuli, actually. Oh, I'm sorry.
We've had a fun debate about this, but
yeah,
it's reticuli.
I say reticuli. I have dinner on the brain. It reminds me of ravioli.
Pasta.
I am
hungry.
Oh,
and horses. Pasta.
Okay. Mr. President, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, let's continue.
A little tired, but.
So Zeta Reticuli, which is about 40 light years from Earth, and EBE's planet was within this whole star system.
Okay, well, let me ask, where is this in comparison to other, stars that we know about?
Well, Mr. President, our closest star is 4 light years away. So I can show you the constellation that it's in.
No, that wouldn't do me any good. I don't know about astronomy. Was never my strong point. I just thought I could understand the distance. How long did it take the spaceship to get here?
Well, it took the EBE spaceship 9 of our months to travel the 40 light years. So as you can see, that would mean the EBE spaceship traveled faster than the speed of light. But this is where it gets really technical. Their spaceships can travel through a form of space tunnels that gets them from point A to point B faster without having to travel at the speed of light. I cannot fully understand how they travel, but we have many top scientists who can understand their concept.
I have a tunnel from my bathroom in the master down to the kitchen, so I believe in that technology.
Not the same thing.
Well, I certainly understand the science then, obviously. So is that the same thing as a black hole?
Mr. President, yeah, something like that, but much, much more complicated.
Yeah, Mr. President, I can assure you they know how to do it, but we can't do it, okay?
Yet.
Okay.
Well, the United States felt relatively sure that the aliens' exploration of Earth was non-aggressive and non-hostile. It was also established that the aliens' presence did not directly threaten the security of the United States. But secondly, the public was beginning to believe that UFOs were real, and the NSC felt this public feeling could lead to a nationwide panic if we disclosed everything we knew about UFOs and alien visitation.
Well, I have a lot of questions for you, so let me ask a few and then we can move on. Sound good? I guess the first one would be about their lifespan. How old is this EBE?
EB or EBE is fine.
EBE-1, yes. Mr. President, the alien civilization that EBE came from, what we call the Eben Society. It wasn't a name they gave us, it was a name we chose. But their lifespan is between 350 and 400 years. That is Earth years.
Now, is that time the same on their planet as ours, or?
No, Mr. President, time is very different on the Eben planet, which, by the way, we call Serpo. Their day is approximately 40 hours. That is measured by the movement of their 2 suns. So the solar system containing Serpo
like
is
in Star Wars.
I have not had time to see a movie, Mr. President. I take your word. I take your word.
You're very busy protecting this nation, Mr. President. The only Star Wars we know about is that project that we're not supposed to talk about.
Well, yeah, that's what I named it after. If you get the chance, go see it. It's a wonderful film.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will take that under consideration. So the solar system containing Serpo is a binary star system, or 2 suns rather than one like our solar system.
Mm-hmm. Well, your answer just makes more questions for me. Okay, so as I understand it, as you say, their planet has 2 suns. Wouldn't that mean that the planet was hot because of the both suns? I guess that explains, their eyes having the double eyelids from the heat.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. President, their suns do not set like ours. So there is daylight during their entire day, with the exception of a short period where both suns hit the horizon.
I wonder what life is like on Serpico.
Oh, Mr. President, it is called Serpo. Yes,
Mr. President.
Spelled SERPO. And I think that will have to be given in a different level of briefings, or Mr. Director?
Yeah, Mr. President, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. We have all that information about the visitor's planet, but we would have to present that information at a different briefing. We just need to get through this.
Yeah, sure, all the levels, right. We'll get used to it. So, have these aliens visited other places on Earth?
Mr. President, the Soviet Union has had their contacts with these aliens. Yes, I know, your favorite.
That's what I was getting at.
We have a great deal of intelligence that would indicate the Soviets had their own Roswell, so to speak. What they know is about the same as we know. They had some bodies back in the late 50s, but our intelligence would indicate that the species of aliens were different.
Well, hard not to think that wasn't on purpose. Okay, well, then, Bill, that presents a very disturbing feeling for me, getting the Russians involved. Are you telling me there's different races or species, as you said, visiting Earth at the same time?
Caretaker, why don't you take that question?
Yes, Mr. President, but I hesitate to state the reason. We should have that discussion in a
just answer
meeting.
the simple question of how many different species here. You don't have to go into details, since I'm sure it's a different level again, but, you know, I've been hearing that all morning.
I am so sorry, Mr. President, if I upset you.
No, don't feel that way, Mr. Caretaker. I'm not upset. You're all my advisors. Now, as president, I must listen to you and can take your advice. I'm not upset. I'm sorry for giving you that impression. Can you tell me how many different species have visited us?
Mr. Director?
Go ahead, Ms. Caretaker. Just want to remind the president.
I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm sorry, my hair's a little long and I have a high.
I apologize. I guess I need to get open to the non-binary star system. I need to wrap my mind around.
I have a penis.
Fire.
Fair enough. Let's keep this about aliens, Mr. Caretaker.
Sure.
I apologize. Just go ahead and answer the president's question.
So no one thinks Andy Gibb isn't a man. He has longer hair than me.
Well, that man's a hippie and he should be
point.
arrested. Am I wrong? We should arrest every man with long hair, as far as I'm concerned.
Nope.
The president had a question. How many alien species do we know of?
Okay, at least 5.
And they're all friendly?
Mr. Director?
Advisor 1, do you want to step in here?
Mr. President, that is a very difficult question to answer. There are many parameters that we follow to evaluate the threat. However, we have little intelligence on 4 of the 5. We have plenty of intel on the Ebens. Gee, they've given us everything we've asked for. They've also helped us to understand the other 4 species. I'm afraid to say, Mr. President, and please don't misunderstand my words, but we think one of the species is very hostile.
I mean, for Christ's sakes, I'm the president of the United States of America. I should know if we're endangered by some threat from outer space. If you have something to say about a threat posed by one of these species of aliens, then I want to hear it.
Mr. President, we have intelligence that would indicate this one species of aliens have abducted people from Earth. They performed scientific and medical tests on the human. To the best of our knowledge, no humans killed. But the intelligence is from witnesses. So if someone was killed, we probably wouldn't have spoken to them. And we haven't thoroughly evaluated this intelligence as of yet.
I see. And do we have operational war plans on this?
Yes, Mr. President. We have war plans on all potential threats to our country.
Good. Let us not forget the world. If these creatures attack some other country, we would have to help and step in, like I did in Bedtime for Bonzo.
Excellent film, Mr. President.
Wonderful.
That one I did have time to see. Yes. Wonderful.
Yes.
Multiple
I think
times.
that's the last movie I saw. No long hair on the men in that movie, sir, the way it should be.
Trim and tight. Yep. Mr. President, we have absolutely no evidence that this particular alien race has any plans to attack the United States of America or planet Earth.
Well, I guess we really got off the subject there, and that's my fault. I want to know about the threats. Now, you don't have to hide anything from me. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Well, okay, continue. How many other presidents received this briefing?
Mr. President?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, please.
Okay.
Mr. Caretaker, please.
Thank you. I have briefed President Nixon, Ford, and you. President Carter was never given the entire briefing. I have no answer as to why he wasn't given the briefing.
Well, knowing that guy probably couldn't understand it from being from Georgia. He's a simple peanut farmer. But that's just semantics.
Very good. Very good.
It's a dry joke. That's a real dry joke.
Well, Mr. President, if you're interested, the 5 species are called ebens, arqueloids, quadloids, heptaloids, and trantiloids.
A lot of loids.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, these names were given to the alien species by the intelligence community, specifically MJ5. The ebens are friendly. The trantiloids are the dangerous ones.
My God. Just knowing we have names for these things are amazing.
Mr. President, we have a trantiloid, but it's dead. We captured it in 1961 in Canada. Dirty, dirty Canada. Yes. We had it in captivity until 1962 when it died.
Well, thank God they leave good reviews.
They do love their podcasts, which is a technology that we really haven't wrapped our brains around.
We learned through a time tunnel. We learned of it.
We learned about it through EB1. That's EBE1 taught us about podcasting.
Mr. President, you cannot share information about podcasting to not even Nancy.
That is
because the public will go into a panic if they realize that in the future people will be able to have their own radio shows free from censorship.
Just in an ear.
They're afraid of long-form discussion is what it is. Well, that's a lot to digest. I'd like to hear a little bit more about the hostile ones.
Mr. President, may I step in here?
By all means, advisor number 1.
Well, Mr. President, these hostile aliens are pretty sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to appear and disappear, which is beyond our technical understanding. They also seem to float or defy gravity, and we have actual photographs of them doing this. Yes, absolutely. We have a classic abduction incident that was recorded by military intelligence personnel. It happened in 1979 near a military installation.
Do we know where?
Yes, sir, in New Mexico.
God damn New Mexico. What is it with that place? I mean, they love it there.
Well, Mr. President,
what is it about New Mexico? Can you tell me that?
A dry heat.
It's like their home
Dry
planet,
heat.
maybe. We don't really know, but
yeah.
There's something that we need to tell you about the trantiloids. It's very important, Mr. President, if you could just let us get to this point.
Yes,
get to it.
The trantiloids, they can imitate humans. They can look like blonde humans, specifically. However, they are not blonde humans, but actually quite ugly-looking insects.
I'm sorry. Did you say insects? Did you say, insects?
Yeah, they are pretty nasty looking.
Well, those would stand out, I suppose.
No, Mr. President, as I said, they can imitate looking like humans.
Now, how do they do that? I mean, do they do the makeup like in the movies, or what are we talking about here?
Well, Mr. President, I can assure you they don't use makeup, at least not like you have in your many acclaimed films.
Yes.
They do have the ability to change their bodies.
They can be killed, though, yes?
Yes. They're just flesh and blood, like a human body. They can be killed, but their spaceships have a force field around them. They can be shot down, but it takes some doing.
Yeah, Mr. President, we have to use a small-style nuclear missile to shoot them down, but we haven't actually done that yet. We have experimented in Nevada on the captured craft that we have of one of theirs.
My God. Well, I hope we haven't used atomic missiles. So what does that mean? I have to give that order? We're doing that today?
No, we understand that you have to give the order to do it. We haven't actually done it. That's the advisor, please.
Yeah, Mr. President, no, we haven't used any nuclear missiles as of yet to shoot down any alien flying craft. If we had to shoot one down, for instance, if a group of them attacked us, maybe.
Maybe we should call Captain Kirk, huh?
Mr. President. Very good, sir. Very good.
Well, a little humor is good in any situation, I suppose.
Okay, Mr. President, I'll call Scotty.
Yeah, maybe Gene Roddenberry knows too, the hippie.
Well, our air defenses are as best prepared as they can be against any form of attack by this group.
Now, let's get into that a little bit. How do we do that? I mean, with our pilots, do they know?
Not exactly, but we have a system to cover any threat.
A war plan?
Yes, Mr. President. We do have war plans just for this event or possible event.
Well, I think that's enough for today, gentlemen. Set something up for tomorrow and we can finish this.
Okay, Mr. President.
I want to thank everyone for a very thorough briefing. I was educated beyond belief. I will have a different attitude every time I look up in the sky.
Tape ends.
Wow.
Woo.
And the wild truth is, as much as we sprinkled ad libs in that was most of that is exactly written as transcribed. It's just weird stuff. There's also a huge section about an exchange program between aliens and human astronauts that traveled to planet Serpo, where 12 humans went there and only like 9 came back. Like a couple died, and then a few humans decided they want to live there. The Reagan wanted to know if that's what Close Encounters was based on. So, he goes into talking about how, like, he's heard that Hollywood is into all these rumors. So it's just wild.
That
really
is
weird stuff.
wild, man. Yeah, believe it or not, I'd never heard of that before.
Oh yeah,
those transcripts.
Jen, what do you think? You read this yesterday, and I sent you the full transcript. Is this real or fake?
Well, I had read these before, years ago, and I didn't remember a lot of it. And if you had asked me before I read it, hey, did you read these before? I'd go, oh yeah, it's amazing. It's all true. And then when I reread it, I was like, oh God, this is insane. I want it to be true. I mean, these little things convince me it is, like the little jokes Reagan made. But then I go, no, that's just, did you guys hear that? All right. Do you know that documentary about, it's a podcast series documentary about the song Winds of Change by some metal band.
Yes, I haven't heard it, but yes.
Yeah, okay.
Conspiracy you're talking about?
Yeah, well, they posit that ultimately, like, the CIA wrote that song and gave it to the band to sing, so that, they could influence the democracy around the world. Anyway, so my point is, maybe this was written by the CIA for some reason. I can't figure out why.
It could be disinformation that was leaked. It could have been fan fiction. I'll tell you what, I corrected a lot of spelling errors in here, like THER for THEIR. So there's some stuff where you're like, okay, somebody's like, this probably didn't really come from a government office, but there are little fun specifics. And I would love to know that we have at least 5 alien species visiting, and only one of them is hostile.
Yeah.
Well, there is an article, and anyone can Google it. It's in the SmithsonianMagazine.com, that in the 80s, Reagan announced publicly that he talked to Gorbachev and said, can we both agree to work together and pause the Cold War should either of our countries be attacked by aliens? And Gorb agreed. And this was not a secret. This was said in public. And so, that makes you think, what did he know?
He mentioned
he was
too.
He was a UFO witness. He was in his private plane and he did spot a UFO traveling alongside of his plane. He actually had his pilot try and follow it for some time. So he was a UFO witness. And what followed after that eyewitness account that he had was that famous UN speech where he said, I often think that if some outside force came in, that we would all forget our problems and work together, some alien threat. He used those words, alien threat, that we would forget our problems and come together. And that speech was motivated by him just sort of ruminating on what these things were.
All right.
Or perhaps a briefing at Camp David.
Yeah, maybe it all happened in 1981, right after he was inaugurated. We got to close out this alien transcripts for Reagan. We're running over. We have some time for some brief questions. Jen, you want to stick around and answer some questions? Guys,
Sure.
If you have questions for Jen, write it in. Riley, you want to ask these questions that are popping up over here? Or we're going to take about 5 minutes to do this, and then we got to wrap it up.
All right, so quick answers. Here we go. This is Oxymoron A-Roll asks, question for the BCC boys. What paranormal / high strangeness / unexplained thing are you afraid of the most?
Alien Greys.
Demonic possession.
Shadow people. Don't like it. All right.
Wait, Jen. What about
I
Jen?
agree. Demonic possession.
Yeah.
2 for demons. At Thon R8 asks, question. It's been 2 weeks. Do we know where Kate Comer stands on Skunk Ape?
That's a good question. She had posted about it on her Instagram. I think she's very open-minded about it. She learned a lot about it, she said. So head over to her Instagram, Kate Comer's Instagram. I think she had some answers. And feel free to ask that question and tag her.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to do my follow-up sales calls, an important part of sales.
You're dressed for the part.
Got to follow up.
Big Daddy B asks, when are you guys going back to the clubhouse? I also asked that, guys.
It's a good question. We're all vaxxed and ready to go. It's just been a matter of scheduling right now, but and it's tough to ask like guests now in a post-pandemic world to come all the way over to somebody's house.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be doing some more, especially with the 3 of us, we'll be doing some stuff in the clubhouse. We tried to do it for Travis Walton and it fell apart because we're all working like crazy right now. So
I'll tell you what, though, we're getting together for that Jet Ski Special.
That's right, baby.
Oh,
thanks to you guys.
All right, here we go. Barrow Stoner asks, actually, he just says, or she, the boys need to get Leslie Keene on the show. Agreed.
All right.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Gwen Cornell asks, is the government faking Bigfoot videos to distract us from their secretive Bigfoot technology? Bryce, why don't you field this one?
That's good. I've never heard about that or thought about that, but I like that. I like that a lot. Why not? Right.
Yeah,
I could see them doing something sneaky like that for sure. I love this idea.
Tech be portals.
Look, they'd be interested in the cloaking capabilities of Bigfoot creatures. 100%. Absolutely.
All right, cool. All right, Derek Cole draws. Shout out.
Hey, shout out Derek. He drew our big BCC Clubhouse T-shirt that's up on the merch shop right now.
Oh yeah, hell yeah!
All of our listeners
and a fellow and a Canadian who gave us 5 stars. Thank you.
That's right. You can thank
dirty Canadian.
He asked, if the 3 of you were to form a real BJ and the Shadow Bats band, I'm going to correct you to when the 3 of us form it. Who would play what instrument and what would our stage names be?
This is obviously
Riley
Bryce
would play obviously everything. I mean, he'd be like one of those dudes with like the guitar on his drum kit, playing the guitar, and
But Bryce, you're obviously BJ.
I'm BJ.
Obviously,
yeah,
he's BJ. I can only sing, so I don't know. I might be a backup singer, and I'm just called the Shadow Boxer. That's what I do.
You can learn harmonica pretty quick. I'm sure.
I'll be the harmonica player.
Yeah, I think I'll be like Leon Batwing, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Jen, what are you gonna do? What part are you playing in this band, and what's your name?
I can play piano. I don't know what the reference is, so my name would probably just be Jen.
Great. Okay. You know what? I am going to play the harmonica, and I'm going to be called Mouth Man instead of Mothman. I'm the Mouth Man.
Good.
That's mine.
Hard man.
I like this one. Riley, why don't you read these back and forth comments that we got sent over? This is pretty great.
Cat Hex says, I've been very impressed with Bryce's Australian accent lately. And Get on the Beers replies, it is not a good Australian accent. Trust me.
Spoken like a true Australian. Get on the beers.
That's amazing. Yeah, I would have to.
We try. Yeah. It's better than I can do. That's why I give it to him.
Oh my god.
We got one.
Yes, invisible. Yeah.
Stephen Mayer Jr., who is also a friend of the show, chat on the internet sometimes. He says that invisible producer Mike has got to be so weirded out by now. There he is.
There he is.
One of us.
All right. We got 2 more questions left.
All right, Heather Muse asks what we've all been wondering. Club Bryce video question.
Oh, wow.
Here's what
do you think?
It's dropping with the Jet Ski Special.
Oh,
shit.
Do that. All right.
No.
You heard it here first.
You found it? You got it?
You came through. So
oh my god.
Oh wait, I thought we were talking about the Completely Absorbed by the Strange video. That will be dropping with the Jet Ski Special. The Club Bryce video, Michael, did you find it? We tried to find it. We looked through a tape.
Okay, yes.
I'll tell you what we should watch while he's looking.
I've got it here. We played it the other night at my place, and it was all blank. So I haven't gone through. I got to play through all of this tape to see if it pops up anywhere on here. But we were given a very beautiful treasure trove from Bryce called MTV Network's Rock and Jock Bass Brawl, where Bryce pitches against major league players, and it is one of the greatest things we've ever seen. We're gonna figure out how to get this up on the Patreon. We got to get it digitized. It's probably violating every copyright law around, but it is. Don't tell anybody. I'll post some videos after this drops on the main feed, the audio for this up on the Instagram. You got to see some of these shots of Bryce pitching. It's pretty great. All right.
And final question here for the where do this is a Borrow Stoner. Oh, Borrow Stoner, I already asked your question. Well, we'll try one more. Where do you guys stand on the Jinn? DJ
genies or demons? I'm open to it. I don't know. We need to do some research.
The Jinn is a
the Jinn, real as fuck.
Spirits. They're like demons. Another type of
different name, same thing.
Similar to an angel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't want any of it.
Yeah. I'm with Jen.
Hard pass from Jen.
Certain type of spirit in Islam, similar to an angel. The word jinn comes from the Arabic jinn, a plural noun that means both demons of spirits, literally hidden from sight. The word genie shares the same as the Arabic root. So that's what I thought it was related to genie. You know what? We haven't done a story of high strangeness on it, and we should. Absolutely.
There we go. We got another episode.
We'll look into it. All right. We got to wrap this up. I'm going to thank everybody involved tonight. I want to thank Jen Kirkman for joining us. Jen. I want to thank listener Austin for putting himself at risk during Bullshit or Believe It. I want to thank
you,
invisible producer Mike. I want to thank everybody at LUUDO for making this happen. Thank you to the listeners. Thanks for getting us those 5-star reviews. We look forward to making that BCC Jet Ski Special for you guys. It will be dropping in the fall, we promise. And of course, thank you to my co-hosts, Bryce and Riley, as always. Jen, where can people find you and your work?
Just follow me on Twitter at Jen Kirkman, and they can check out my podcast called No Fun, which is available everywhere you get podcasts.
Fantastic.
Hey.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here on the show. Until next time. Oh, by the way, I'll be sticking around for some one-on-one backstage hangs. So I'll be joining you guys who are over there in just a moment. For the rest of you, until next time, good night.
Bigfoot Collectors Club is produced by Riley Bray. Our theme song is Come Alone by Sun Eaters, courtesy of Lotus Pool Records. If you like the show, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It really helps get the podcast to more listeners. To support the show, check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/Bigfoot Collectors Club and unlock multiple reward episodes every month.